Well, for example, this guy.
So I've been debating whether it's
Do we know who's talking?
No, I don't. I mean, you know.
We see you. We support you. We are here on Israel High. And now we have Ravens from Club Z. Whoever is not familiar with Club Z, they are in Zionism proceedings. I'll hold the mic for you. And you know, we're gonna face this way, everyone. I'm sorry, there's a lot of people there that can't hear. Let's try to let them hear. Jews are from Judea. This indisputable fact must be stated before going into the gravity of the events that occurred in the past 2-3 weeks. It's essential to acknowledge the truth that Jews are from Judea because our enemies are fueled by denying this. They deny us of our homeland. This is what this war has always been about and continues to be about today. What happened is not just a matter of statistics, but rather one horrifying assault on the history of Jewish people from a very long history of such assaults. Our hearts shattered as 5,500 people were injured, with at least 1,400 lives brutally extinguished. This is the largest number of Jews murdered in one single day since the Holocaust. The sanctity of 22 towns and communities were violated. And within the chaos, Hamas seized hostages, women, children, and the elderly, who were raped, tortured, and murdered. However, instead of letting us grieve, we have to prove that these attacks even happened. We have to say that this brutality is not justified. It is considered progressive to support Palestinians and Hamas's quote-unquote fight for liberation, which is actually just murdering innocent people. Since when is it progressive to support kidnapping innocent civilians? Since when is it progressive to torture, rape, and murder people who can't even fight back? This sort of toxic mentality has affected college campuses such as Columbia to the point where elite universities are no longer elite. They're merely expensive breeding grounds for hatred. Back in the 20s and 30s, Ivy Leagues had a quota on how many Jews can attend their universities. Now, the percentage of Jews at Ivy Leagues is less than when the quotas were instituted. We must divest in these universities. We must no longer financially support those who want us gone.
No!
No financing!
No financing, absolutely.
There's inclusion and equity for all, except when it comes to the Jews. It is time to stop supporting the double standards and decolonize our campuses. And we have another Columbia student, and go ahead. These past days have been hard. Our hearts are in Israel with the victims of these inhumane attacks. We are with the innocent people being held hostage by Hamas. we are with the families and the loved ones of those brutally killed and taken by such terror. We are physically here, but our minds are far from present. They are far away. There is this pit in my stomach where I just feel sick to my core all the time. And it especially doesn't help when, for example, after a group of us put up signs and balloons in honor of Ohad's 9th birthday, a child who is being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza, we saw a student tear down Ohad's picture. When I asked why honoring a child's birthday who is being held hostage is so offensive to her, she looked at us blankly and later responded with, "You won't find him here." It is sickening to walk out of class and hear our fellow classmates cry out, "From the river to the sea." They feel so much hatred that they tear down and crumble posters of innocent people kidnapped, murdered, and raped by terrorists. They send hateful DMs on Instagram and spew hateful misinformation. The threatening stares we all get, they hurt. They justify terror by calling it resistance. However, we are not shying away from this scary reality as most are, including our own university. And the reality is blatant anti-Semitism, a malice hatred towards our existence. This is something we have heard about from our grandparents and ancestors, yet we are now facing in 2023 on our campus at Columbia University. So the pit in my stomach, it only keeps growing. This pit reminds me of how much I miss my family and my friends and how much I wish I could be there or anywhere that is not here. But we are here, and this is our campus just as it is anyone else's.
Right.
As people, we need to fight for our existence as Jews and Israelis. As our loved ones are fighting to protect our country on the front lines there, we need to do our part here. We are seeing history repeat itself. We must remember what got us through the most horrific times then. We need to stand together as one and not be afraid. If they hate us for being Israelis and Jews, we need to exist loudly. We need to live even more. Being afraid means being uncertain of the future. Yet as Jewish people, we know what our future will be. Because history does repeat itself. And the Jewish nation will always stand strong.
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
Israel will continue to exist and will be even stronger.
Yes.
If there is one thing I am sure of deeply, is that אנחנו ננצח. עם ישראל חי. No fear here! 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 And now along the lines of no fear, Lizzie Savetsky, you know her. If you don't know her, you need to know her. Unapologetic, loud, amazing. Go for it.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Wow, this crowd, that is what I'm talking about. We are here. Yes, we are here because we are fighters and we are not going to stand for Jew hatred. I'm going to keep this very short because we have a lot of people we want to hear from tonight. I just want all of the Jewish students here with us tonight to know that we have your back. Yes. We have your back. We have your back. We have your backs. We have your backs. We have your backs. We have your backs. We are not going to stop fighting until your campus can feel like a safe place for you. We are with you. We love you, and you are not alone. You are not alone.
That's it.
You are not alone. 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 Thank you, Lizzie. And now we have Ashley from the Jewish National Fund and a Columbia and NYU alum. Every
I'm an NYU grad, I'm a Columbia grad from 10 years ago and 5 years ago. And I'm here to say I am your future because it does get better together. I have my degree from Columbia University in fundraising management. In the last 10 years, I have dedicated a lot of my career to the IDF, to the people of the Gaza envelope, to the people of the Galilee that need all of your support. First and foremost, I am the descendant of Iranian Jews that were forced out of their country in 1979. My son is 6 months old, and on his father's side, he is a descendant of an Auschwitz survivor. My son is the future. All of our children are the future. And if we don't stop it now, they will have to deal with this way more in the future.
Exactly.
Do not be afraid to speak up. Get involved in your Hillels. Get involved in your Chabads. Get involved with any organization on campus. Have your Shabbat dinners with pride.
Right.
Invite your Jewish friends. Invite your non-Jewish friends. We need everyone in this.
Yes.
For over 10 years, Jewish National Fund has worked with the communities of the Gaza envelope. On Saturday, October 7th, I got text messages to our WhatsApp group that 22 people were murdered, including the mayor of Shar HaNegev. We had no idea what was to come. We need everyone's voices loud and clear. Our family had to leave Spain. Our family had to leave Iran. We are going nowhere. We stand with Israel. We are Jews. We are proud to be in New York, and we are here because our voices need to be here. Am Yisrael Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Eli, I think you said there's another Columbia student that wants to speak, and then we're going to pass it on. Is someone coming? Otherwise, we have others.
October 7th this year, Hamas, a terrorist organization, walked into Israel, indiscriminately murdered, raped, killed, and took hostages. Hundreds and hundreds of hostages, babies, grandmothers. For days we were mourning, for days we were rallying, for days we had pain. No more. Today we turn around, we understand that we're here to fight, and we will defend our country with everything that we have. Today we say no more! No more murder! No more innocent civilians being dead. Today we take back our ground, and we go into Gaza and we say no more! No more hate! No more hate! No more hate!
No more hate! No more hate!
No more hate! Murdered, they decapitated and burned babies. Hamas is ISIS. 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 You have all been to music festivals. You've all been going around yourself, doing your own days. We don't have room for any of that hate. They took women, 16-year-old girls, and they raped them. There's no excuse. How is raping someone freeing Palestine? How is murdering someone freeing Palestine? No justice for rapists. No justice for rapists. No justice for rapists.
No justice for rapists! No justice for rapists! No justice for rapists!
For justice. We have to be together. We have to be in solidarity against this. If we all join together and sing and bring our light, and our light will shine brighter than their darkness. You guys will sing with me.
Thank you, Izzy. And now we have...
Achenu kol bet Yisrael. Achenu kol bet Yisrael. Anetuni matzah, matzah v'ashivya, ha'omdim b'ma
have Matan, another Club Z student. Matan, you're our future. Come share some words, please. Go loud into the...
I'm an Israeli Jewish high school student and a teen leader at Club Z. I live in a small upstate town and I've experienced almost every single kind of anti-Semitism, whether it being slurs or violence more often than not. In light of these experiences, I find myself questioning how some students, much like myself, can advocate for causes that seem to condone acts of terrorism and violence against my Jewish brothers and sisters. While many of the students who participated in today's walkout at Columbia University may believe they were standing up for human rights, it seems they ignore the tragic loss of thousands of innocent Israeli lives, including men, women, and children. How can they claim to fight for human rights and they overlook the actions of organizations like Hamas, who executed 40 babies? This is not an argument about who is right or wrong, but rather about how people can't just stand by anymore. They claim to want human rights but slaughter their own civilians. They claim to want peace, but every time Israel is willing to negotiate, it's not enough. It appears that they don't want peace, but they want the extermination of all Jews. Supporters of Hamas actions that call themselves the Palestinian Resistance have shown their true colors in recent weeks. The attacks on October 7th was a massacre against the Jews, the likes of which have not been seen since the Holocaust. No sane group parades the murdered civilians around the streets and celebrates the death of innocent civilians. I am calling on you to be the ones that make noise and wake people up, to see the truth and condemn the act of Hamas, to wake up and fight for his right. Am Yisrael Chai.
Nice. Everybody loud! End Jew hatred! 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 Louder! End Jew hatred! End Jew hatred! End Jew hatred! End Jew hatred! And now, speaking of Jew hatred, we have Alan Mindell, president of the board of the Holocaust Museum and Tolerance Center, who really knows what hate can bring. Alan.
Thank you so much. I come from a center that teaches kids all day long about what the Shoah was, what the Holocaust was. And the question we get all the time is, how could it happen? How could so many people, ordinary people, turn on their neighbor, kill their friends and family that they thought they had but didn't, kill the people they knew, murder, rape, bury them in shallow graves? And I think today people know the answer to that question here. Because it's really fairly simple. Hitler had Goebbels. Goebbels had a simple saying: if you tell a big enough lie often enough, people will believe it. And they told that lie in Germany and in Europe so often that they couldn't wait to kill us. They felt justified and righteous in their cause. And here we are today, and here at Columbia, where we've had professors that for over 25 years have been spreading lies and telling students the same lies over and over again. So eventually, no matter how educated they are, people would believe it. Don't let them believe it. When they come and they tell you of people that have lived in a land for over 3,000 years, that have been a diaspora and kicked out and removed from your homes and murdered in every state and city and country throughout the world, and then you come to your homeland back to join your brothers and sisters that have been there for thousands of years, don't let them say you're a colonist. It's your home.
No more lies! 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 No more lies!
When you have a country that celebrates its diversity, that tells its Arab neighbors, its Arab Israelis, that you have every right to vote, every right to education, that you become doctors, lawyers, members of the Knesset, chief justices, don't let them tell you the next day that you live in an apartheid state. Don't let them tell you that those of you with a proud Jewish history as us, that we who have fought so hard, besides so many, that have stood by African Americans and have made sure there were voting rights and civil rights, don't let them tell you that you are the people of apartheid. You are not.
You are not.
Do not let them tell you, as they rape their women, that they stand for our rights, when we are the mothers of women's rights in this country and around the world. And Israel has the best record on women's rights anywhere.
Yes.
When you see a sign or you see a university club that says LGBTQ for Palestine, and you in the Hillel have no place here, and none of your gay Jews are allowed here, remind them, Israel is the only country in the Middle East that has pride in every citizen, regardless of their sexual orientation. And if they were there in Gaza or in the authorities, they would be killed. Only we believe in that freedom. Don't let them lie about you. As a father of 3 daughters that have been and are in college, what I tell you to the students here is you don't deserve this. You deserve so much better.
Yes.
You worked hard and earned your right to be here.
Yes.
And Columbia has known what their professors have said and the lies that they have said about you for a quarter century.
Get hate off campus!
Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus! Get hate off campus!
You deserve so much better. You are fighting for your right to it, and I will tell you as a parent and a Jew, all of us have a responsibility to fight for you.
Yes.
And I swear to you we will.
Yes.
God bless each and every one of you.
Go! Am Israel Chai! Am Israel Chai! Am Israel Chai! Okay, Israel Chai! Am Israel Chai! Yad Shalom! Yad Shalom! So go!
Columbia, we are united! If there's any confusion who the land of Israel belongs to, that is to the Jewish people. And this week's Portia, it is Lech Lecha. You know what that means? God gave Abraham the land of Israel. He said he will bless those who will bless Israel, and he will curse those who will curse Israel. Look at what Israel has done over the past 75 years. Look at the innovation. Look at the technology. We stood with the Black Lives Matter movement. We stood with all the movements at Columbia University. It is time that Columbia stands with its Jewish people and its Jewish students. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all. And now, one more time, unity is strength. 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 And end Jew hatred. End Jew hatred. End Jew hatred. End Jew hatred. IDF. 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 IDF.
I'm staying with you because I need you to. Everyone's gonna ask for more days, but I need you to. Yeah, we have 2 lanes in our days.
Give me your number. Text me.
I have 2 short things to tell you. What we are seeing now here today is Jew hatred, and we need to end Jew hatred. 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 We now know. Bring them home. 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 We now know when we open our social media, we know that when the Jews are being walked to the gas chambers, who would have done something and who would have provided context for that? We need to end Jew hatred together. We need justice, not a ceasefire. We need justice, not context. We need to bring them home. One last thing that I need to tell you is that we need to be proud. Whether it is Global Jihad Day or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, we need to be proud Jews. Put on your biggest Star of David, your kippah, and be proud of who you are every single day. Am Yisrael Chai. Hi. Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Am Yisrael Chai.
Right now, we know that we're not going to be afraid. All we want is to be a free nation in our homeland. Lihat Advocacy. Our kids are unsafe on campuses. People that should be condemning these acts are condoning terrorism. Where are you? Schools, where are you? Protect your Jews. 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 Schools, where are you? Protect your Jews.
Everybody, let's not forget. Fire must burn. Fire must burn. Fire must burn. Fire must
Guys, I'm no feeling this war.
Massive bar nerd. The amount of people that oh really? Yeah, no. A woman, a girl in my class went up to another guy and my class was like, I saw you standing in front of the ducks and truck, like thank you. And I was like, oh yeah? I left my water bottle in my business class. Yeah. I left it. Yeah, but you guys at like 4 o'clock. I had to go back and get it. I was already wearing this thing. Yeah, right? Like you of all people. Yeah, right. And like that, I'm very Jewish love. And hasn't been to my right? I think feeling like they know how I feel and they know what I'm it's like Loki scratching my head.
Where did you get your shirt? Oh, my shirt I took yesterday. Where were we? At the
Bar. Oh.
And we will not quit until all of Jewish civil rights are upheld.
Will never be defeated. The Jews united will never be defeated. Yes. Where are you going?
Bring them home! Bring them
Home.
Bring them home! 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 Bring them home!
But also, why the hell did you get into a war with an entire school that it wasn't related? Like, how that was not. It's just like, like it's really yeah, you can't. So like, or you know, they really want to minimize your missing Japanese academy. So they like.
That was part of the reason I started.
No, for sure.
I was traveling.
Like, there's one thing that you talk about.
Bring our children home! Bring our children home! Bring our children home! Bring our children home! Bring our children home!
Did you see my signs? חייב לעבוד שנה וחצי.
I only spent 4 years there. Hi, how you doing? Yeah. Okay, so you're here. There are a few of you from the Socialist Workers' Party.
Yeah.
Why did you come out to this event today?
My name is Martin Copel, and yes, I'm a member of the Socialist Workers' Party. And we came here because we think it's important to speak out against the pogrom, the anti-Jewish pogrom organized by Hamas with support from the Iranian government and its practices. The fight against Jew hatred is not only Jew hatred is not just a danger against Jews. It's a danger and a threat to all working people, to the working class in this country, and that's the lesson of history. We learned that in Germany, but also here in this country. And it's among the working class that you'll find an interest in fighting Jew hatred and also the potential power to put an end. And our party goes back to the Russian Revolution, where working people, in taking power and establishing a government of working people, put an end to the pogroms and put an end to the anti-Jewish violence in Russia and in that entire region. And it was an example of what we need to do. And our party itself has a history going, in the 1930s of joining the fight to open the doors to Jewish refugees that were fleeing Europe at a time when the U.S. government, the Roosevelt government, was closing its doors like all the imperialist governments did. And it was one of the factors that led to the Holocaust, the closing of doors of all the major imperialist powers.
So I've been covering both the pro-Israel protests and the pro-Palestine protests, and it's very noticeable that there's at the pro-Palestine protests it's a lot of leftists, it's a lot of socialist organizations. PSL has been very prominent. Sure. Answer Coalition, the DSA had a rally where they called for a ceasefire. Is there a distinction between your organization and how you're viewing socialism?
Night and day.
Okay.
And it's a class divide, because those so-called socialists who are supporting Hamas, which is an anti-working class and Jew-hating organization, those socialists and others will, in time, can easily be found to be allies of the fascist forces that will grow in this country with the economic crisis, like they did in the 1930s in Europe and the United States. Our party is an internationalist party. We're a working class party, and it's in the interest of working people to fight Jew hatred. We know that Hamas has nothing to do. I wouldn't call them pro-Palestine rallies. Hamas doesn't represent the Palestinian people. It doesn't represent a liberation movement of any kind. It's a reactionary organization whose explicit goal is to kill Jews.
So what I've heard at those rallies is that they consider what happened on October 7th to be an act of resistance, and that any act of, well, some of them have said this, not everyone. Some I think DSA is just calling for a ceasefire, but PSL leaders have come out and said it was an act of resistance, and you can't question tactics, and they support any kind of resistance by any means necessary because they're fighting imperialism and capitalism.
Well, I would say no crime can be committed in the name of freedom and revolution. And what happened on October 7th was a pogrom, and it should be called by its right name. It was aimed at slaughtering as many Jews as possible. It wasn't just the brutal terror tactics. It was aimed at wiping Israel and the Jewish people in that region off the face of the earth. And it's backed by the Iranian government, whose leaders have openly said they are for the eradication of Israel. And that's what the slogan "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." They mean free of Jews. It's an echo of the Nazi slogan "Judenfrei," free of Jews. So it's important to explain what's really involved in what's going on, and we defend the right of Israel to exist as a nation, and we support the right of Israel to defend itself, because if they don't defend themselves against these pogroms by Hamas and their very powerful allies in Iran and Hezbollah, it will lead to further slaughters.
Are you calling for any kind of a ceasefire like the other socialist parties are to prevent civilian deaths on the Palestinian side?
No, we don't join in these pacifist forces that call for ceasefire. That's not going to be a solution. It's only going to give time for Hamas to organize further attacks and slaughters. We have to look to the social force that can put an end to Jew hatred, and that's working people. And we, in this country, we go door to door as socialists and as workers and unionists in working class neighborhoods, and we get a very good response by working people who are outraged and disgusted by the pogrom by Hamas. Many people don't know what to do about it and have questions. And so they're interested because we do have a perspective on what needs to be done and why this is a labor issue, it's a union issue, it's a working class issue, not only in this country but around the world. As long as we have capitalism, in times of crisis, it will breed Jew hatred. It happened in Germany, but it's also happened in this country and is happening. And you have the Jew hatred, not only the ultra right-wing forces, but it's expressed in the straight, open, or thinly disguised anti-Semitism of some of these forces that say they're anti-Zionist. But if you listen to what they're saying, they're really anti-Jewish.
Anything you'd like people to know about your organization?
Well, yes, we're the Socialist Workers Party. We're active across the country, and here in New York, we have a newspaper called the Militant Newspaper. You can look it up. We have an online edition at themilitant.com, and we have here a book center and hold weekly forums on these questions. So you can get in touch with us if you want to join with us in this fight.
Okay, thank you very much for talking with me.
Okay. So this is, what's your name?
Bring them home! 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 Bring them home!
I didn't ask you what you think about this thing.
I'm recording. I'm asking people what they think.
I'm recording what I think. I'm just curious.
Like the majority of people on the north side of the subway station up until basically the bus stops, and they were kind of donations to the bus stop this area down here never really sometimes we were that way.
What's at the time?
Works out. I look for
like how is she alive? How is she
Thank you all.
You know, next couple of applications, but I don't think that's the.
That's right. I stand in my Jewish
Это они специально да? Очень грустно.
Bye-bye.